Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another Pick a Card reading here at scatterlovetarot with your girl Becky. And today we are doing a Pick a Card reading on what is it that people admire about you. This is going to be more online with physically and your personality. So I will be describing your personality and what it is that people admire about your personality, and finding out some more about what it is that people are drawn to when it comes to you. My light, for some reason, is not working. That's why you hear those clicks. Let me see. Oh, there we go. So it's just the white one that doesn't want to come on. Let's turn on the yellow. There we go. All right. So with that being said, if you are new to the channel, welcome. We are here, all human, trying to make it through this journey, and you're welcome with open arms. And for those of you that are returning and have supported me in any one way, shape, or form, I love you so much, and I'm so honored to be sharing this journey with you. And it means the world to me that you are here. Know that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. And also, if you are interested in taking me on the go and learning some tips and tricks to your own journey, like how I discovered my own spiritual journey, how I came closer to Source, what it is, the impact of this journey on myself, check out the description box down below. I did start a new podcast, and I just released a podcast on forgiving and spiritual blockages, and you will find that link to get there down below in the description box for you. Okay? So that being said, let us go ahead and get into your prayer, and we will go ahead and start your reading. I'm excited. That went out fast. I have all the windows open today. It's so beautiful here today. So you'll hear the birds singing and everything, because there's so many birds here. Cardinals, there's red finches, there's blue jays, which I don't see very often. And there's sparrows and, what are those ones called? Greckles, I think they're called, or geckos? Greckles? Yeah. Those are really cool. All right, perfect. My beloved Source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this video, whether it's just for a moment's time or whether it is for the entire time. I ask that you bless them. I ask that you bring them clarity on their journey, and I ask that you remind them how wonderful they are, that whatever traits come through today and those descriptions of themselves today that are really wonders, and make them feel good knowing that they resonate with that, to remind them that they can always come back to those beautiful traits that they have, those beautiful characteristics that they have, that while being human is not necessarily easy, it is always an adventure, and that even if we are down and out, that we are still good people, and we're just having a very human experience at any one given moment. I ask that you help bring all of those on this channel to their own intuition, their own discernment, their own inner knowing, and a connection with you, the highest light and love. And whatever it is that they call you, whether that is Source, whether that is God, whether that is universe, whether that is their own higher self, their own intuition, whatever it is, that they come back into this space of knowing and understanding that deep, deep, unconditional love, that you love no matter what we do, no matter what moments we have, and no matter what we say, that we can always come back into this place of truth and acceptance with your love and embrace. As these words are spoken unto this video, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let me go ahead and knock that off there and get this set up for you. I felt that. Okay, and today we will be choosing from our Divine Animal Oracles. Just seemed like a fun one to bring up for this. And yeah, so Source, for the collective, what is it that people admire about the collective? What oracle card will help us understand what it is that people admire about piles 1, 2, and 3? Thank you, Source. What is it that people admire about piles 1, 2, and 3? Here comes the train. So Source, for pile 1, what oracle card will help us understand what it is that people admire about pile number 1? Whoa, that card is going flying. Thank you. And for pile number 2, source, what oracle card will help us understand better what it is that people admire about pile number 2? Thank you. And for pile number 3, source, what is it that people admire about pile number 3? Thank you. Overall energy is people admire just how intuitive the collective is, and how that intuition is constantly opening up and expanding and growing, being able to see things beyond what's really there, see the truth and the depth of what's there. So for pile number 1, we do have this beautiful piece of bloodstone to choose from. Okay. For pile number 2, we do have this beautiful piece of amethyst for you to choose from. And for pile number 3, we have this beautiful moonstone. It's a peach moonstone for you to choose from. Move those up. Okay, so we have pile 1, 2, and 3. Whichever pile you are drawn to, that should be the pile for you, keeping in mind that they are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not. With that being said, I will see you over on your perspective. Pile 1, for those of you drawn to this beautiful moonstone, oh my goodness, my apologies. So pile 3 may have messages for you. We haven't gotten there quite yet, but bloodstone, if you've been drawn to this bloodstone, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is your reading. Know that these are general messages, so take what resonates and leave what does not. Also keeping in mind that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you guys are interested in knowing about my own journey and the tips and tricks that I have learned through my own experiences and what works, what I found doesn't work on this spiritual journey, the personal development journey, or the journey back to self, check out the link below where I have created a podcast for you to take Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I just recently uploaded a video on forgiveness and blockages in the spiritual journey. And that's because of forgiveness, right? Whether that is our ability to forgive or not forgive, it is connected to certain blockages on our journey, and learning more about that. And I do share with you some of my own experiences. I'm very transparent on the podcast, and that is for those of you that are interested in that. So that being said, let us go ahead and get into your reading and find out for pile number 1, source, what is it that people admire about pile number 1? Can you tell us more about what it is that people admire about pile number 1? What do they need to know? What is it that people admire about pile number 1, source? So 10th house, moon, and Aquarius. Let me go ahead and get my block. I need my block. All right. Get that set up for you there. So right away, people admire your ability to work with anybody. Like, you make things work no matter where you go, no matter what's going on. Like, you have this innate ability to really focus on the task at hand and bring a team together, right? So, like, you're a person who's not going to ask somebody to do something that you yourself aren't willing to do. This energy of being a leader, this energy of being able to bring the community together, this energy of being able to bring a work environment together. And this is what people admire about you. They also admire your work ethic, right? Like, your ability to show up, and you always speak your truth. You always say what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You're very capable of creating boundaries in the work environment. And this is something that others admire of you, because you don't see it as so-and-so signs my paycheck, I just show up and do whatever they say or whatever they ask me to, because otherwise I'm not going to get a paycheck. If somebody asks you to do something that is outside the scope of your job description, you're going to say something. You're going to be like, look, that is not in my job description. You have a department that takes care of that, you need to divert that to them, or you need to, there's a word that I'm looking for here, delegate. You need to delegate that work to them, because that's not my job description. And I'm not going to take on more responsibility because of that. Now, if you need me to do something that's involving our department here, I am more than happy to take care of that. But there is this energy that's coming through here where sometimes people expect far more of you than you're capable of giving, okay? And it's not that you are incapable of your job or anything like that. It's like they feel like because you're so good at your job that they can just pile things on top and like expect you to get them done within a reasonable time frame. And it's like, basically, I'm giving you 6 weeks worth of work and I expect you to have it all done in a week. And you'll take on extra responsibilities without complaining about it, but you also know where to draw the line. Like, you're basically like, look, I can take on 1 extra project this week, but you're asking me to take on 6 extra projects? No, you have other people working for that. And that is something that people truly admire about you. You're also in a position that many people admire. And you might not feel like that. Like, you may still be at the bottom of the totem pole, but the reason that they admire your position, it actually has to do with the way that you show up. And you say enough is enough, and I'm not going to put up with that. And your ability to, even if maybe you're in a beginning position, right, you're capable of actually bringing everybody on the same level as you together to work together as a team. So people may come to you for training. People may come to you to learn more about their position in the company through you. So I keep getting like this idea of like being in a call center, and you've been in a call center, and this is just an example, okay? Take it as it resonates. But being in a call center, and you've gotten so good at the calls that you take that they use your calls in training, but they also have people come and sit with you and ask you questions, and nobody even bothers you. Like, whatever information that you give to your trainee, everybody trusts because of how good you are at your position. Like, that's the energy that's coming through here. And so they also admire that you're always in this very masculine energy. So it's like you separate your personal space, your personal work, and your personal emotions from work. It is very much like, I have no problem being on a similar level as other people. I have no problem sympathizing with people. I have no problem showing empathy, kindness, and compassion. But when it comes to you, like, you're not somebody who's going to show up and spread all your news at work. Like, people don't know very much about you, and they admire that because it makes you seem very, very mysterious, pile 1. And they really enjoy that. Like, it's something that people are actually really like, I wish I was more like that. But in order to become like that means that they must take that first step and not say anything about their home things. And it's almost like it's become a habit. You know, Office, the show Office. If you haven't seen it, that's okay. But there's this small office, and it's like everybody knows everything about everybody. If you've not seen Office, you can liken that to a small village, like, or a small community where it's like you have your gossipers and they know everything about everybody, but no one can gossip about you because you just head down, eyes forward, and you're focusing on the next task at hand. Okay? People really admire that no matter what's going on, you're always show up with a smile on your face. You're very friendly. You're very logical. You're not even posting a lot on social media. Like, if you do post on social media, you don't give your social media to people at work. And that's what people admire about you. Because it's like, I keep coming back to this energy. I hear my personal life is my personal life. You only know my personal life if you're a part of my personal life. If you're not, if you're a part of my business life, that is a completely separate entity from you. And people are very much, they really admire this about you. And you're also somebody who is very capable of connecting with people. Like, you follow your instincts. If somebody comes in a bad mood, like, you'll probably steer clear of them. And it's not like that, oh my gosh, like, I can't deal with that. No, it's like basically you're in this energy of like, that's on them. That's their mood. That's their problem. They need to figure that out. I'm not going to allow them to give me all their junk so that I have a bad day too. But if somebody's sad or down, it's like you're also that ear to listen to them, not in terms of getting energy or getting dirt on them. It's more or less like, hey, sometimes you just need someone to talk to help you reflect on your own problems, to help find a solution to the problem. And if there is no solution, sometimes you just need a listening ear, and you're also willing to do that. And that's something that people truly admire about you, because even though they don't know much about them, it's like they feel so comfortable with telling you everything about themselves. It's like you wouldn't know a stranger if you met one, you know, because they'd be so comfortable with telling you everything about themselves. They'd be so comfortable with just, hey, pile one, this is how I feel. This is what's going on with me. Like, yada, yada, yada. Right? So let's get some tarot on it and find out, what is it that people admire about pile number one, source? And we'll get to some descriptors today too. I've been bringing them more and more on the videos because they are a lot of fun. Like, I really do enjoy them. I don't know why I stopped using them, but you know, there's always a reason. So sorcerer, pile number one. Did you see the candle go out? Did the wind blow it out? Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, you're gonna see I don't do the matches thing. Let me close this window a little bit. It might squeak. I apologize. Okay, there we go. That's better. You may also be very observant. You know, we did have that as the collective reading in the beginning, the observation, but this is like you're coming across as someone who observes even the smallest things, like things that people don't even ever see. It's like you observe them. So maybe somebody bought new shoes and they've been wearing the same shoes for forever, and then all of a sudden they change their shoes. It's not something that not a lot of people notice. They could have even bought the exact same shoes that they had before, but there's something different about them. Like, you're going to notice that. You may notice when people get a haircut, like, you just pay attention to the detail, like very detail oriented here. Source, what is it about people, pile one, that people admire? Thank you. Okay, source, what is it about pile number one that people admire? Thank you. Let's see what we got on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. What was I saying? The ability to make boundaries. And that's what my Seven of Cups talks about. The ability to cut yourself off emotionally and physically, mentally from other people. Like, they're not allowed in your space just because you're afraid to set boundaries. Like, you're capable of setting very firm boundaries. And you're not afraid to, like, that. The thing is like, there's a lack of fear when it comes to setting boundaries. Like, you're very courageous is what I'm trying to say. It's like very courageous energy here, knowing that you have to set the tone for yourself, because if you don't, then people are going to walk all over you. Again, like giving you 6 weeks worth of work to finish in a week. Some people may just be people pleaser, pushovers, or brown nosers for their boss and try to get it all done. By the end of the week, they're so burnt out. Come next week, they're like, oh, I'll rest next week. But next week, they just give them 8 weeks worth of work to finish in that week, you know? And you're like, no, look, this is not going to fly with me. I'm not going to do this. And so people really admire that. They also admire that even if people ask you personal questions, like, you keep it very professional, right? Very professional. So what is it that people admire about you? This is interesting. Yeah, okay, so with these two cards here, the Page of Swords and the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Like, the Seven of Swords really talks about getting involved in situations that aren't going anywhere, right? Like, they're not ever gonna pan out. And I feel like that is just another confirmation of this ability to set boundaries, right? And knowing that that's a part of this journey for you, it's like setting boundaries. And so people admire things that they would normally get stuck in and that they would have a huge issue with, right? Like, with the Page can talk about legal situations. It can talk about not wanting to face reality. It can talk about lack of truth. It can talk about lack of being able to speak out, feeling like very low on the totem pole, like you don't have a say in your life. And so what people admire is that where they normally would get stuck in a situation that would not bode well, you somehow have fought through the negativity. So it's like, even if somebody tries to guilt trip you into doing something, you're like, no, I'm sorry. If that's how you feel about it, and if this is going to cause an issue between us, then I just want you to know, where in my job description does it say that? Or where have we ever agreed to me doing these things? And so you make it very clear. It's like, if you can't show me in black and white what this means for me, then it's a no-go. And so I feel like people have tried to pull one over on you and really try to guilt trip you into doing things. Like they feel like, oh, if I can force pile one into feeling like they're gonna lose their job, right? Or like a boss coming in and saying like, if you don't do this, then you're canned. And you're over there like, we never discussed this before, so why is this an issue now? Like you're very calm, you're very collected, but it's like negativity flows all around you. And people admire you that no matter what, you still show up very positive and you're able to overcome it. Like it doesn't matter how a person shows up negatively in your life. You always come in with this sort of truth and you cut it out and you're like, look, that's not going to work with me. Okay? We have a lot of air energy here, and this is talking about communication. It has to do with communication where people would fail to communicate because they'd feel like they were trapped in a situation like, oh my gosh, my boss said I was going to lose my job. Like they said this, they tried to threaten me, they tried to make me feel guilty or whatever, so I'm just going to do it. You're over here like, no, I'm sorry. It's almost like you have this air about you like, I don't need you, but you need me. But it's because of the way you work and the way you show up. And that's what people admire about you. Okay, we had the tone set with the 10th house here. It is all about work environment. So it's like the people who admire you the most are the people who are around you at work because they get to see you in action at every point. It's like, even if you keep things under wrap or like you say things like this, it's like, so say you and your boss go into a meeting room and you talk about it in a meeting room or behind closed doors. Your boss is actually the one that talks about what went on, not you. It's like, the only reason that the whole place knows about it is because the boss is, again, in that energy of being a gossiper, being like, I got to tell people what went on. Like, oh, well, pile one didn't let me pull the wool over their eyes. No, because that's the thing. It's like, I get a paycheck here, but that doesn't mean that I've sold my soul here. And even if you work on salary or something like that, you know, people are like, oh, well, if you work on salary, that's it. You've sold your soul. And it's like, yeah, but that's because most people think like, I don't have a right to say no, because if I say no, then what are they going to do? What's going to happen to my position? And you're over there like, no, I'm plainly not going to give you room to use me and abuse me. You just don't see the purpose of it. And that's a good place to come from. You know, it's like you're willing to do what it takes to have success in your position. You're willing to do what it takes to have success in your life when it comes to your finances, your security, your abundance, and, you know, leadership and everything like that. But you are not willing to sacrifice yourself just because people are like trying to show up and make you feel one certain way about it. Whoa, thank you. Please get some clarifiers out here. What is it that people admire about pile number one, source? Thank you. What is it that people admire about pile number one, source? Thank you. So let's check out the bottom of the deck. Yeah, we have the 5 of coins. You are just different. You are different. Like, even in the darkness, like this is so symbolic. It's like, even in the darkness, like, you're still this bright light. It's like people are trying to be like you. They're just trying to be near you. You may have people who are just constantly coming to you for questions, who are coming to you for advice, who are, again, like that energy of coming to ask you about their own life, because you're so willing to listen to them. You're so willing to help them, even if it's a personal issue, but they know nothing about you. It's almost like you're always extending. It's interesting, but that's what I heard. Extending a branch here, like you're always extending a hand. It's like that's not above you. You're not afraid to get down and dirty with people. You're not afraid to even get emotionally involved with people when it's necessary. But you don't stay in that position. It's like you help them figure out what's going on with them, and then you move beyond that. Like you're like, okay, we're done with this. Now let's go ahead and move beyond this. Like we have the 10 of Wands. Yeah. So what has happened here is you've created a lot of friends without knowing that you have friends here, right? And you're building, and it's like, I feel like there's a sense of rottenness that's coming through here. So maybe the position that you have is not the best of position, but you're stuck in it because It's what you need to have right now. It's kind of like a stepping stone for you, right? And it's like everybody else is just happy going into this every day, but here's you like trying to find a way out. It's like overcoming it. And so what my 10 of Wands really talks about in my deck, it talks about being able to be with someone, one person, a friend, and making it together through thick and thin and becoming stronger because of it, while understanding that doesn't necessarily divert to actually a person. This could just be you connecting with your higher self, right? That intuition coming through again and becoming so sound in your intuitive knowing and your intuitive feelings that you just literally are inseparable from your higher self. And that's why you're finding this way out. It's like, I know this is a stepping stone. I'm not going to be here for forever. When other people feel like this is just, that's it, I have to be here for forever. And then we have Judgment coming out here. Hold on just a second. I don't want my dog to bark. Exactly. Okay, yeah, so we have Judgment here. It's like you're learning how to blossom in a very trapped and secluded environment. And it's like someone is trying to hide the key from you, but eventually you're just going to get so... It's like outgrowing this so much that you're going to realize, oh, okay, like that's what I need. And you're just going to take what you need. Right? And so you're in the process of healing. And that's what I'm feeling like with this 10 of Wands. It's like you're healing something that you were very disconnected from before. And people admire this. They admire that no matter what, you always come in and you're like a new version of yourself. Right? That intuitive knowing, like they see your intuition. They see you overcoming hardships. They see you trusting yourself in a situation where they wouldn't trust themselves, right? They don't even trust themselves to make a decision. That's why you trust yourself with setting boundaries. You're like, no, this is not going to fly. Like, I have to do this. Like, I can't do this, whatever it is. And you're willing to do it, you know, and your perseverance through this. Like, there's a sense of being able to persevere no matter what's going on. We have a lot of sevens coming out. We have the 7 of Swords, the 7 of Cups, and the 7 of Wands. I didn't realize this before. But you're persevering over really manipulative situations and people who really want to see you fail, or people who want to make you so overwhelmed. This is like a boss that's trying to make you quit because they can't find a reason to fire you. Okay, and I'm sorry that you're dealing with that, but know at the same time that the fact that you're dealing with that, it is making you a very... like a much more grounded person. It's making you somebody who is capable of dealing with those hardships and those difficulties without even question of what comes to mind for you. It's like when a situation arises in life, you're just going to have the answer or the knowledge that you need to move forward. And if you don't, you're going to be able to find it. Like, it's not like you're ever going to get stuck. Yeah, and then we have the Knight of Coins. Yeah, this is like a very slow-moving situation here. What does that say? Hate me. Look, that's what I was saying. Like, it's like somebody's very manipulative and they want to see you fail. Right? They want to see you fail and they've beat you down and they've really tried to get you in this energy of like, oh my gosh, I'm confused. I can't do this anymore. Like, look, we have a checkerboard here. Okay, this to me feels like somebody who's trying to convince you that they're playing chess when really they're playing checkers and you're the one that's playing chess. Okay, like that's the energy here. And so it's like they want you to get so frustrated in this situation that you are the one that leaves. And so you just show up and you do what you do every day. This seems very routine to me here with this Knight of Coins. And that's what people are so... like they just really admire you because of it. It's like they see the hardships that you go through. And again, no matter what, you just show up and you do what needs to be done. It's like when you have somebody that's just a hater, right? And that's what that hate me is. It's like somebody's a hater, but they want you to eat it. They want you to be the one that, and you're the one that threw it down. You're like, no, this is not my cup of tea. This is not my flavor of sucker. Like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to. I'm just going to be in my own world, do my own thing. It doesn't matter how many times you knock me down. Okay, and this is something that you've gone through quite a bit in your life. Like this is, you've learned your lesson. That's what's coming through here. And I feel like what people admire, but they don't know about you, they admire your ability to lead yourself, but they're not aware of you having gone through cycles like this in the past. And that's what's made you learn your lesson. That's what's made you stand firm in these boundaries, you know, and it could be anything really. It could be just somebody trying to, like I keep hearing overworked and underpaid. That's something that keeps coming through here. I hear that, you know, it's like somebody that's trying to make you feel bad about yourself, bad about the situation. Like we have full moon flipped over. Exactly. I was saying, like, you've completed the cycle. This is something that's been cyclical in your life. We have this completion coming to a head here. It's like you're actually getting beyond it. You're no longer going to be in that situation, like falling for those old tricks, falling for those old traps. It's like where maybe once you felt like this before, you know, the way that people feel around you right now, like why they're so drawn to you, because they see within you something that they're capable of doing within themselves. But it's scary. And so the easiest thing is just to be closer to that energy and hoping and praying that it rubs off on someone, you know, like, oh, if I'm near pile 1, like I'll be like them soon. And they don't know how to get there. And so they just continue to come closer to you, because it's like, if I come closer to pile 1, maybe eventually I'll be able to do that. Yeah, we have mutable here with Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. So there is something that's going to change, but that also is confirmation of what I was saying earlier, is that you're always going through moments of change. Like you're always changing yourself. Like you're always coming in a new person. So it's like where somebody's trying to manipulate you, because it's like, oh, well, they did this last time when I did this. Now they're like, oh, well, so I'll manipulate them like this time. But it's like every time someone comes at you with a new quote unquote plan, you're ready, you're prepped, and you're willing to do what it takes to save yourself from the situation. Because at the end of the day, a job is a job, right? Yes, is it necessary? Of course, it's necessary to survive, but it's not necessary to live. And there's a difference between those. And that's kind of the energy that you've actually learned to become closer to. It's like, I don't need this to live. I'll find something else if I need to, something that will treat me with more respect. And it's like right now I feel like you're just biding your time, and that's what people admire from you, because it's like while you're biding your time, it's just you're becoming even stronger and stronger and stronger in this ability to set firm boundaries. It's like the more people play around, the more you're like, cool, keep playing, that's cool. Like, it don't bother me, because it just makes me stronger and more capable. Look, I love that this came out. We have number 4, and 4 is all about strength, stability, structure, foundation. It says, look back and smile on perils past. Walter Scott. Exactly. Comes into exactly what I was saying. This is something that you've dealt with before. This is a cyclical situation for you that you're overcoming, right? And that's why it's not some cruel test. It's literally seeing whether or not have you learned your lesson. And if you've learned your lesson, it gets easier every time someone tries to step on your boundaries. It gets easier every time someone tries to manipulate you. You come from this place of saying, you know, that's not what I want anymore. Okay, I got you. So for some, this could be a relationship. I don't feel like it is. But yeah, this is what wanted to come out. Find the grace to leave what's not meant for you. That's what's happening right now. Like, you're finding grace within your situation. Again, exactly what I was saying. Like, you're trying to bide your time. Like, this feels like you're trying to bide your time for something that's better for you, something that's more suited to you, like whether that's owning your own business, or whether that's finding a new position somewhere else, or whether that's even finding a different position in your company, but you have to wait until what are those lotteries or whatever they are that come up for your positions to open. That's what this feels like. And then we have, look, number 27, resentment will persist as long as your need to be right and your want to get even is more important than your peace of mind. This is why people admire you. Okay? They admire you because you are someone who doesn't resent whatever anybody does. Like, you're just like, oh, okay. Like I was saying, like, you're just like, keep showing up like that. Go ahead, keep showing up. Because you're not going to ruin my peace of mind. You're not going to ruin my inner harmony. I don't want to get involved in your, you know, buldarchy, because that's it. Like, that's all. That's on you. That's on you. Balderdash. That's the word. Balderdash. I don't want to deal with your balderdash. I don't. Look, we have Scorpio energy, intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. Yeah, so there's this sense of rebirth that's coming through here. You have exposed some very vulnerable parts of yourself to yourself through this. And because of that, you're becoming this very intense energy. So this is like leaders who see you and they're jealous because of your ability to lead, even though you don't have a leadership position. You know, I call them managers, and they get dizzy on a brick. They think that because they have a title that they're better than everyone else, when in reality, they still had to start at the bottom somewhere. And so it's like this, it's like you're never getting dizzy on a brick. Even if you beget, okay? Even if you get a management position or you get a leadership position, a leadership role, like you're not ever going to be that, because it's like, if I can't do what I'm asking my people to do, then it's not worth it to me. I'm not going to ask you to do something that I myself am not willing to do. Even now, even having this title, even being in this position, like, again, back to that call center idea, say you get a management position, you're now no longer on the phones, but it's not below you to go back on the phones to teach your team or to teach those that need it to become successful at their job. And again, this is just an example that they're showing me here, so take what resonates. So then we have this beautiful card coming out for you again, this full moon up here. It's interesting because it feels like there's a city in the full moon here, right? And so there's a lot of busyness that's going on internally, and Scorpio is all about connecting with the depth of who we are. But you're constantly receiving messages here. You're constantly getting enlightened on what's happening, and also this feeling of being a shining hope for people without realizing it. And you're actually opening yourself to receive prosperity from this. There's abundance that's coming here. Okay, there's something that's coming through here for you because of this situation. You're the one that's transforming. But if you look, she's looking towards the past of the spread. And that's saying that you've learned your lesson. Like, you basically are embracing the fact that I've experienced this a lot. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not upset about it. I just am ready to heal this and move on. And that's what this feels like, is really connecting with this deep heart-centered energy and knowing that you have to love those parts of yourself that let that in. And it was a very big mountain to climb. And at one point, this mountain feels like it was a volcano. And so there may have been some very upset moments for you along the journey, some very hardship parts of the journey where you just were like, I'm done with this. Why does this always happen to me? But you let that go, and that's what people admire about you. They also admire your ability to stay calm. Like, you know, when I was saying like physical descriptions, but the real physical description that's coming through here for you, pile one, is the ability to stay even-headed, cool, calm, and collected no matter what's going on outside of you. You have mastered that anger inside of you, and you've let that become a guiding light for you and saying, I don't have to show up as this crazy person. I don't have to show up as this person who's always blowing off at the top. I can show up and stay in this even level-headed energy and know that I can take care of what's necessary. You've also, again, this idea of blossoming here, like people have watched you blossom. So you may have been in your position for a long time and people have seen you blossom. Look, we have the persistent. I love that with these cards. 47, okay, which is number 11. And we have, I hold fast to my goals and ideals and I persevere. We were talking about that. The 7 of Swords really talks about being able to persevere. When it's in the upright, it's like no matter the hardships that are coming to you, your perseverance is above all else. Like, even if you get into difficulties, we talked about that with the 7 of Wands, right? The ability to hold fast to your journey, the ability to overcome difficult times, the ability to take action despite the fact of what you're seeing with your physical eyes, knowing that as you show up and take action right now, you will be given what you're asking for. And so because of your hard work, Source is bringing this to an end for you. They're bringing this to a close so that you can really grow from here. So let's get some descriptive messages. These are always fun. They're not going to resonate with everyone. These are just always fun to get. Okay, wow, that was a lot. I was not planning on doing that many, but okay. Oh my Lord, this is like a huge stack here. Okay, pile one, you got so many of these. I'm not going to put them back because obviously Source wanted them out, but so what do they admire about you physically? I guess this will be the description physically, and then we'll check out your card that you picked, okay? You're a water sign. Yeah, and we had Scorpio come out here, and the moon is connected to both Pisces and Cancer. It's connected to Cancer in the zodiac, but it is connected to Pisces in the tarot, right? And we had mutable on the bottom of the deck, which also had Pisces, okay? Down here, Pisces, okay? That sense of fluidity. And look, I cannot make this up. I picked that up, and look at what's underneath it. We have water, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, spirituality, emotions, intuition, and compassion. Everything that I talked about in your reading. I absolutely love this. I'm actually going to keep these out because I feel like they want to be out. Okay, so you could be a water sign, and that's what, again, that emotion, right? That ability to be an empath while you're dealing with people. People really admire that. Okay, so you could be a BBW or a BBM, a big beautiful woman or a big beautiful man. Yeah, that's it. Okay, a big beautiful person. I guess I could put that on there too. But just people admire that, like, it doesn't matter what you look like, right? It's like they see you. Whoa. Okay, I have to close this back window. Otherwise, my things are going to fly away. And that's going to cause for some issues. Okay. They admire the fact that you don't let the way that you look get in the way of how confident you are. Like, you're a very confident person. So we have singer. Maybe you walk around and you hum and you sing or something like that. Hold on just a second. I want my dog to bark. Okay, yeah, so you could walk around, you could sing, you could hum to yourself, and people notice that. Okay, so we have EMT coming out. You could be an EMT. Again, when I was talking about the call center, that's just a general message, right? Like, that's just an example. It's not, it could resonate with one person, it could resonate with a group, but it's just an example that you can take for what was going on. You have voluminous hair. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, what else do they admire? Straight hair. Okay. So your hair, something about your hair that they really admire. You could be a Leo. Yeah, and Leo would be that real confident energy coming through here, right? Like the speaker, the ability to lead people, the ability to help others. Your sexual energy. I'm hearing that song by, is it Marvin Gaye? Sexual healing. I want sexual healing. I have a remix of it. But anyways, yeah, so it's like you bring in sexual healing. Even if people don't have sex with you, that's fine. This is more about your sensual energy brings in a lot of healing. Your soul tribe. So a lot of people feel like you're soul tribe for them. So you're finding your soul tribe because of what's going on here, because of the healing that you're doing. Bulky. So you could just be very bulky in general, like a large person, not fat, but like a large person. You know, when you have people who are like 6'8" and they're just large people, like built like a linebacker, like that's the energy that I'm getting here. So we have cardinal sign. Okay, so that could be Aquarius, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn. So cardinal sign, but really with cardinal sign coming out as well, it's just that you're not afraid to take a risk. You know, cardinal signs begin the season. And so it's that energy that's very like in your face, like taking that risk, jumping on it, very explosive energy. Okay. Gross. Okay. So there's some people who may feel like you're gross. Don't take it personal. Okay. Because this came out with that huge group, so it might not actually even be for the reading. It just came out, but again, I wasn't going to put them back. Quiet. Yeah, that goes back to exactly what I was saying. Like, you don't tell people a whole lot about yourself. You're very mysterious. Like, you know, people find that, they admire that. They find that attractive, too, is what I was going to say. So you may wear a wig. Okay. They like your hair keeps coming through here. Wow, see? Yeah, your hair blows them away. Well, however you wear your hair, like, people really admire the way that you wear your hair. So it may be different than what they would ever wear it as. Light skin. Okay. Yeah, so your skin, you have very beautiful skin. You may be really light colored. Like, that's a beautiful thing about you. People really admire. So yeah, you got a ton of those descriptors, but let's find out what your card is. I love this. We have number 10. Was I saying, like, you kept giving me leadership energy here, and we started with 10 and we're ending with 10. 10 is all about being on your path of purpose. I love that synchronicity for you. We have elephant leadership. Yeah, that's what people admire about you the most. Pile 1 is that you're a leader. We also have you being pile 1, and that's 111 coming out for you, another synchronicity. But people really admire you because you're a leader. They admire you because they know they can come to you and you're going to treat them with respect, like a human being. Like, you're not just going to be like, oh, I'm better than you. Like, I know more than you. Like, no, you're like, look, let's figure this out together. Nobody's better than another person. Like, I'm here because I had to work through what you're going through. So let's figure it out together. And people really admire that. Your reading went on way longer than I was expecting it to, but there was so much information coming through for you. This is what I see for you. If it resonates, please hit that thumbs up button down below. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow humans that were drawn to this beautiful piece of amethyst. Or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what do people admire about you. We will get personality. We will get some physical traits at the end. We will check out this card at the end. Please know these are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in learning more about my own experiences, my own journey, and the tips and tricks that I've learned along the way through trial and error on how to really connect with my higher self, to connect with source, and to connect with my spiritual journey, check out the description below with Scatter Love Radio. I am starting a podcast. I released it already. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, a new episode will be uploaded. The recent episode, as of this video being loaded, is called Forgiveness and Blockages on the Journey, where I am very transparent about some situation that happened to me that I found very difficult to forgive and the reason that I was led to forgive that, okay? And that will be down below in the description box for you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into your reading and find out with the dice source, what do people admire about pile number 2? What do people admire about pile number 2? What messages do you have for us, source? What do people admire about pile number 2? Okay, so we have 4th house, Neptune, and Gemini. So I was going to wait until the end to get some physical traits, but right off the bat, there are physical traits coming in here where you are very dreamy. You may have bedroom eyes. Something about your eyes and the way that you present yourself. I also heard voice. So you may have a very dreamy voice where people just really love to listen to you, especially with this Gemini and Neptune energy here. Right? People love to listen to you. People love that you are very nurturing and very kind, and you bring that nurturing to every aspect of your life. So whether this is you going out to the store, or this is you going to work, or this is you going out to Pilates, I don't know. Whether this is you going to the gym, or, you know, going to hang out with people, or going to get drinks, whatever it is, you bring your sense of motherly nurturing energy with you. Like, you're very feminine by nature. You're in this feminine energy. You could be a man watching this and saying, but I'm a man. That's okay. You just have this natural ability to care for and to nurture others. It means that you're very capable of connecting with your emotions, and you're not afraid to, right? We live in a society where men have been taught to be disconnected from their emotions. But last time I checked, men feel all the same emotions that women do. But it's been taught through generations that emotions are a very womanly thing. And when you find men who are capable of connecting with their emotional well-being and who connect with their emotional self, this puts them in a very high vibrational energy with their divine feminine energy. And that's what's coming through here. I don't know why I felt like I needed to say that, but I could be talking to a masculine on here who's just kind of like, well, you know, I've been through it all and I've learned that hiding from my emotions isn't good. Well, just know that that's actually something that people admire about you, especially if you're a man. because you're capable of finding balance between that sense of taking action, being cut off, and being emotionally involved with people when it matters. Okay, and as a woman on here, you are in a place of being emotionally mature, and you're capable of bringing that emotional maturity to others. You're not getting dramatic. You're not taking things over the top. Like if something feels like it's triggering you, you take a moment to step back and really understand where you're coming from and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm going through. I need a second to recoup, but I'm still going to be here for you. I'm still going to be that loving self to you. And you really do. And that's something that people admire right off the bat. You're also someone who I feel like maybe your love language is words of affirmation. And you gift that to others. Like you're somebody who I feel goes around and you just really love to lift people up, and you say really kind things to them, and you say really loving things to them all the time. And you are someone who really feels good just by making another person smile, or really feels good by making someone's day just by telling them something that's very true about themselves, right? Like it's not like you're lying to them or anything. Like this is something that really comes from the heart. It's a very sincere act for you. And I do feel like for some, this means that your love language is words of affirmation. That is how you give love to others. You affirm others' existence. You affirm their beauty. You affirm their life. You affirm their purpose, their meaning, their goals, whatever it is. You just affirm them in a way that they've never been affirmed in life before. And people really admire that about you. For others, it is your way to communicate in a very loving, kind way. You're very compassionate. Like even if you're giving something that's very sour or something that's very bitter, very bad and harsh news, you have this very gentle way of delivering it to others. You're not going to just like grate them with it. Like you're like, hey, look, I got to tell you something. Can we just take a minute and sit down so that I can tell you this? And just know that I'm here for you. I want you to know, I mean, I'm, not trying to make it bad or anything like that, but I'm here for you. I'm here to help. If you need a listening ear, I'm here for you. And then you give them the news, but you give them, it's almost like I keep getting this image of a mother telling a small child something really bad. Okay, like you embody that, and it's not from a place of being better than someone. It's really coming from a place of like, I've been hurt just by people giving me bad information, or not bad information, but bad news, right? Like have you ever had someone who's given you bad news and they just like blurt out the bad news, and then they go on talking about other stuff like that bad news wasn't anything, and you're like, wait, hold on, whoa, let's back up. It's like, say like, I don't know, you had a friend that passed away. And again, this is just an example, but say you had a friend pass away and you were in a friend group and one of your friends calls you and they're like, oh, well, so-and-so passed away today, but you know what happened to me at work? And they just go on talking about themselves, and you're like, wait, what? It's almost like they like try to stab you with this feeling of anxiety and feeling of like just feeling so bad. Like, I'm not trying to laugh, but it's just like some people just are terrible at delivering bad news, and you're not. Like, that's what people admire about you, because like anytime that they've had to get bad news from you, you've really shown up and you've really been this kind, compassionate person. They love the way that you communicate. That's what people admire about you. You also bring a sense of mystery to the table, and you could very well be connected to God, to source, to spirit, to the universe, to whatever that is for you. It could just be your higher self or your intuition, but you bring this sense of that mystic side to you out when you're talking to people. And it's like, maybe when you're giving advice, like you say your own experience, but you're also not afraid to mention what it is that you believe in. That higher source that you believe in, that higher power that you believe in, becomes a part of you, and it becomes a part of your conversation in such a beautiful, flawless, fluid way. And people are able to really connect to that higher self, that higher being, it's like the all, right? The all spirit. And it's like they're able to connect with that in a way that they'd never been able to connect before. Like maybe before they're like, so-and-so's making this religious. But pile 2, they're like, when pile 2 talks, like I really feel like I can believe in something I've never believed in before. Like I really feel like I can connect to a higher power in a way I never believed I could before. Like they see your faith in everything that you do. They see your faith in their walk of life, and they see it just from this unconditional love that you really try your best to go out of your way and show to everybody, right? You're coming in this way and it's like, I'm only gonna love you if, like, that's not how you live. You like, I love everybody equally because I feel like everybody deserves love. And that's what's coming through here. You could have had some really difficult situations in your life, right? But you're always very imaginative and very intuitive. And we have that very feminine energy coming through as well. With this, it's like you also may have dealt with a lot of sickness growing up. And people who know you, they see that you've turned your home into a place of like a safe haven. Like maybe you grew up in a very dirty environment, or maybe you grew up around people who just didn't care about others, and they would just bring sickness home, and they wouldn't go out of their way to be like, hey, I'm sick, like don't come really close to me, or this, that, and the other. And so they really admire that you go out of your way to make your home environment a very safe haven for you. Like if everybody comes home sick, you'll remove yourself from that situation because you've dealt with a lot of I'm hearing like autoimmune disease, or you've dealt with a lot of immune system situations and issues when you were growing up or when you were little. And so people who've known you for a long time, they really admire this about you because you're not afraid to put yourself first, especially when it matters in those situations, because sickness may be something that really wears you out. So like a common cold, which would normally last in somebody for like 2 to 3 days, it may put you out for like a week or two. And it's like scary because it's like that's something that you don't want to deal with. And it's just because you've had those ups and downs while you were growing up, and your immune system may not be very strong. But somehow, some way, you having dealt with something like that is actually what allows you to connect with people in this very beautiful, beautiful way. And that sounds so strange, right? But it's like because you've been sick, because you've suffered, you've gone through situations of pain and illness. It's like you have this way of putting the shoe on the other foot and really connecting with people in so many ways. And I feel like you may have dealt with a lot of other things as well. You could have had people in your life that were very controlling. You could have had people in your life that were dealing with addictions. You know, when we have Neptune show up, it is the planet of addictions. It is the planet of escapism. Okay, and maybe you yourself have fought your own addictions in life, and that doesn't necessarily have to be drugs and alcohol. Addictions can range from anything to the people that we allow in our lives to our own toxic behaviors. But through this, you've learned to mother yourself in a way that you weren't mothered growing up. And because of that, people really admire the things that you've overcome and the things that you've dealt with and the things that you've gone through. More than that, they really just the way you communicate and your workings of your mind is something that really stands out here for you, okay? But yes, that is something for many of you. You have what maybe you've heard the term bedroom eyes, or very dreamy eyes, or just like I could fall into your eyes, right? There's something about your eyes. We know the eyes are the window to the soul, but there's something about your eyes that people really, really, really admire. So, source for pile number 2. What do people admire about pile number 2? Thank you. Okay, what else, source? What do people admire about pile number 2? How your dice reading was so descriptive. Okay, so you're getting extras. Oh, my arm itched. Okay, yeah. Alright, I feel like this is a clarifying card to this Ace of Swords here, okay? But let's see what comes out on the bottom of the deck. If I can pick it all up. Yeah, the choices that you had. So you may have multiple options that come to you, many opportunities. You may have multiple lovers that you can choose from. You may have just different job opportunities, business opportunities, money opportunities. This is like a lot of different opportunities that come to you all the time. And you have the ability to make a choice and choose what works for you. And people see that when they see you make a choice, like you stand firm in your choice. Like you're not like, oh, did I choose the wrong thing? I feel like part of that comes from maybe maybe at one point in your life, you did choose the wrong things and you got stuck in very toxic situations. And that's what brought light to you, to finally letting go of the illusions that were living in your life, right? It's like your ability to make a decision has now let you decide, do I want to go into something toxic or do I want to go into something that is good for me? And you always have these. You have one or the other. There's no in between here. It's like you have to make a decision in your life on many different things. And you know there's always going to be a toxic trait. There's always going to be a light aspect to it. And you have learned how to decipher and to discern what works for you on your journey. Whether that's listening to your intuition, to your guides, to your angels, to source, whatever it is that comes through for you, really learn to listen to that inner voice. The whisper has become an actual voice talking to you. Yeah, and you've had some things that have really knocked you out of alignment here, right? Like you've had some things that really, look, we have the intuition card coming out. Okay, this is Piscean energy. It's also Cancerian energy, but we have this energy being able to really intuitively guide yourself through life because of situations that have made you feel like you were never going to get out of it, hopeless, stranded, just lost. And people see that you've gone through some really difficult times. You've gone through things that are maddening. You have gone through things that are very upsetting. You've gone through things that people would not know how to deal with themselves. And yet, those situations have provided a blueprint of life for you in how to always stay grounded and to stay firm on your beliefs, to stay true to your journey and to yourself. And you're always listening. You're always listening for that guidance, for the truth that's coming in. What is the truth that mostly comes in for you is to steer clear of toxic people. You, for some reason, it has to do with toxic people, not even situations. With the Queen of Wands coming out with the Ace of Swords, this is showing me that maybe in your past life, you've dealt with people who wanted to see you. So I'm not even gonna lie, what came through was bite the dust. Okay, whatever that means to you, they wanted you to fall on your face. They wanted you to fail. They wanted you to have situations where it's like you had so many opportunities. They wanted to see you finally get into a place where you had no opportunities, right? And it's like there may be people from your past life who really went out of their way to manipulate you. The problem that we run into here is the reason they did that is because your authority in your life, okay? You have authority over your own life. You have authority over your spiritual journey. You have authority for your best interest, and you keep your best interest at heart always, and that makes you a leader in their eyes. And so when the Queen of Wands comes out in the reverse, it's somebody who really has a problem with somebody who has authority, with someone who is a leader, with someone who is spiritually capable of knowing what to do next in their life. Because your faith is so strong, and if it's not faith, if it's just your ability to listen to your intuitive psychic knowings, whatever it is that you use to describe that, okay, because it's not for me to decipher for you. Whatever it is that you do for your own journey, whatever voice you listen to, whatever reason you listen to, whatever feeling you listen to, the people in your life were like, why don't I have that? Not realizing that their jealousy and their anger that they were directing at you was solely because they too have this ability within themselves to connect. They just don't know how. And of course, being pride, because you have pride coming out with the Queen of Wands in reverse. This is someone who is super proud. This is someone who doesn't know. My apologies. I have all the doors open. There's no need for the AC to turn on. I feel like that was confirmation here about the pride. This is people who are too proud to ask for help because they feel like if I can't figure it out by myself, if I can't just do what is necessary by myself, then I'm just going to be jealous and hurtful and hateful towards a person who can. Because instead of asking them, I'd rather just be a hater, right? Like that's really what this energy is. It's like I'd rather just be in this negative energy than hoping that maybe they could help me figure out my own journey, or asking a question, because asking them a question makes me feel insignificant. It makes me feel like I'm a bad person. It makes me feel like I don't have control over my life. Okay, and this is someone who sees you having strong boundaries with others around you. But more than boundaries, this is someone who sees you capable of knowing what is your own truth. And you live that. And because you live your truth, right? Look, this sword is a gift from the divine. Right? This is the hand of God, or this is the hand of source, or the hand of spirit, or the hand of the universe, whatever name you put there, it doesn't matter, right? The hand of the gods, the hands of the goddesses, it doesn't matter, because there's like this higher power coming in and gifting you this knowledge. Okay, there's a creator that's giving you this knowledge, is saying, hey, we needed to balance out your mental state. And when we balanced out your mental state and you saw that you were worthy of taking care of yourself, now anytime an opportunity comes, you are able to see what is good and what is not, what is toxic and what is light. Like there's not a question here, and people are seeing that around you constantly. Okay, and there are some hateful energies here. There are some hurtful energies here. There are people who are trying to make you suffer in some way, shape, or form. But look, you have your back turned to this, because this is something that the divine is taking care of. This is something that source is taking care of for you, because you're more concerned with your own journey. You are more concerned with how things are going in your life, and to take care of yourself in this here now here moment. And because of that, it's like source doesn't even let you see or acknowledge these people who are in your energy like this, right? Which is really beautiful, because it's like, there's a lot of people that say, oh, I've never experienced that miracle from God. I've never experienced that love from God. And it's like, because they've never seen it with their own eyes, right? We have to remember that believing isn't seeing, and seeing isn't believing. Right? And remembering that, we come into this place of truly understanding what faith is, and walking in faith, and knowing that even if I don't see it right now, it doesn't mean that it's not true. And it doesn't mean that it is true. Right? And so that's what's going on here. It's like you walk in this energy of knowing that it's coming to you. Whatever you ask for is coming to you, knowing that it's already yours. It's like basically you're catching up to it. And because of that, it allows you to really put in yourself into other people's shoes who are suffering. And I don't feel like you're actually bothered when people like that come into your life. You just kind of let them do their thing to show their true colors. And you're just like, okay, do you, boo, because I gotta go and do me. Like, I gotta go take care of me. Like, we have the Empress on the bottom of the deck. Exactly. You have come up into this beautiful divine feminine energy. This is exactly what I said when we got the fourth house here and the Neptune energy coming in. You're in this beautiful divine energy. You're in this beautiful energy of being able to see what's going on. But like, you have all these bugs around you. Like, you've got the dragonfly, and dragonflies are a sign of prosperity. I'm not exactly sure what that is. It kind of looks like a larva with wings, so whatever that is. You have a fly, you've got a beetle, and you've got a spider, right? Not everything that's around you is beautiful, but you're focused on the one thing that you want, whatever it is that feels prosperous to you. Whether that's spiritual growth, whether that is connection with source, whether that is working on your financial state, whether that's building something, your business, whatever it is to you, that's your focus. It's like a magnifying glass on that one thing, and you're not actually paying attention. Like, if we're going to put her out here, but I'm just going to put her right here for just a second, because look, your back is turned to this energy no matter what, and source is the one that's taking care of it. See, and it's like, you're even here, you're running away from it. Like, you may not even know. You're actually being carried away. Like, this pig is flying, right? It's like being carried away from it. And so this could be someone that's in your life. This could be a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, a grandfather, a grandmother. This could be a friend that's in your life that's in this energy. But no matter what's happening is because you're focusing on yourself and your own journey, you're actually being carried away from it. Right? It's like when pigs fly, and you're over there like, pigs already do fly. Like, I don't have to worry about that, because they already do fly. In my imagination, they do. So what do people admire about you? How different you are, right? We have the Page of Wands here. You're someone who's not afraid to try something new. You're not afraid to really, like, try anything. I'm going to try anything once. Like, I hear that. Like, I'll try anything once. If I don't like it, I don't like it, but at least I have a valid opinion on it. At least I know that it's for me or it's not for me. Like, you'll try anything once. You're very passionate about what you do. And we got that with that, what I was saying, like, your faith, whatever you believe in, there's a sense of passion that comes through. You're grounded so deeply in it. And that's what makes you look different. It makes you seem different. You also have very, like, this is like a dark beauty to you. So you may be like someone who likes to dress in dark colors. You may be someone who likes to just keep quiet all the time, even though you're very capable of communicating with others. There's like this sense of darkness in your past that you've had to overcome, what we were talking about here, that people do admire about you. It's like when they see your eyes, again, going back to the eyes, they look in your eyes and they notice that you've dealt with a lot of pain. They notice that you've dealt with a lot of suffering, but you never let that change who you were. Never once. But look, we have the eyes are closed here. The eyes are focused here, right? There's something about the way your eyes look. Look, and then we have the King of Swords coming out here. Yeah, you're a very honest person. This is Gemini energy as well. But you're someone that's very honest. And you're, like, again, you're eating your cake, okay? And the energy that I'm getting from this, it's so weird. But it's like you're eating your cake. And other people feel like you think you're better than them. Like, they really feel like, oh, pile two. They think that they're better than me. They feel like this. And so they feel like you're getting your cake and you're eating it too. When in reality, you're just focused on eating your cake. Like, Source is the one who gave you the cake. You didn't have to bake it, right? Like, you didn't have to. You just got to eat it and enjoy it. And that's what it is. But it's like, because you are so keen on taking care of yourself, sometimes that really brings out the ugly in other people. You know, they feel like, oh, you're being selfish, or they feel like you're self-centered, or this, that, and the other. And it's like, no, you've just had a lot of issues in the past where maybe you put others first. And because you put others first, you know, and when we say first, it's like that basically wearing yourself out to try and get another person to like you or see you or love you. Look, I can't with this. I love you. Ceremony, invocation. Look at this divine connection here. This is all about connecting with your spirit guides, with Source, with the universe, with your higher self, with your intuition. This is all about connecting with that divine energy. The unknown, the unseen, what we're not seeing here in this now moment, and really being able to connect with that in a very safe environment. And that's what people really admire about you, Pile 2. Like, there's no getting around that. Like, it's how well and how much you're connected to Source. Like, how much you have this beautiful divine connection. You're getting two of these. Look, the moon. The moon is Cancerian energy in here. Connected with the 4th house, satisfy emotional needs, nurture the self and others. That very nurturing feminine energy is coming through again. Like, if you were questioning it, that's what most people admire. It's like you're standing so firm in this Empress energy, and it doesn't matter. Wow, this is too many. Okay, hold up. They want the bottom. I kept hearing the bottom. Okay. We have number 10, the teacher. I study and share wisdom with those who value it. And this is the image there. I'm just going to show you real quick. Okay. But they admire the feminine energy that you possess at this here, now, here moment. Like, maybe before, like, you could be a divine feminine as well. But whatever it is, you're really learning how to live in that, that energy of receptivity. Right? Okay. Thank you. So we have all tied up coming out here. So there could be someone here that's feeling all tied up by your connection with them. Okay. We also have this come out. This is interesting. This came out in the first pile, but it wasn't supposed to be for the first pile. But it's interesting that it came out again. So it wants to be seen. You are not side chick or side dude material. So this is saying that this could be someone who's trying to create a situation for you, right? Especially with the Queen of Wands. This could be a sexual deviant here coming through. But someone who wants to get you tied up in a situation that's not healthy for you. And we have let go of worry. You're exactly where you were meant to be. So you could be worrying about things right now because things aren't playing out exactly as you wanted them to. But you're exactly where you're meant to be on your journey right now. No, okay. Let's see. Can I please get another card here, Source? Like... Okay, they keep coming out together, so I guess they're supposed to. So we have holding on to the past doesn't always help you for the future. Okay, and we have number 40. Yeah, so past energy that you're letting go of. That's what people admire about you. You let go of the past. Like, you're not tied down by your past. And then we have number 2. Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same things. So you could have let go of a relationship that people watched you let go of, and that was really difficult for you because this might have been somebody that you really loved. Okay. And again, we're talking about that nurturing energy, but it was because you chose yourself that actually let you come into this beautiful place. And we have 29, forgive not only because of your compassion, but because you value your happiness above all else. This is what has happened. You've forgiven a situation that others wouldn't have forgiven, and that really makes people admire you in this really wonderful way. So we have Earth Magic. I cannot make this up. This card literally talks about sharing love to a plant to watch it grow, to remind yourself that you're worthy of love. It's like going out and talking to a rose bush every day and giving it words of affirmation, giving it love affirmations, and watching as it blossoms and showing you that love in return by blossoming and just becoming its best self. And that's what it does. That's literally what this card talks about. This is a very nurturing card. Like, this card talks about being a nurturer, connecting with Mother Nature in a beautiful way. So we have fixed energy here with Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability. So people admire that you're so stable in yourself, that you're persistent on your journey, and you yourself are very loyal and dependable energy. And conjunction, a union, merging and coming together. So you could be coming into a union soon with somebody who's meant to be with you, somebody who's on a similar vibration as you because you let go of something that wasn't serving you. And then we have this card here, and this feels very vulnerable to me. Like, there's this storm all around, and it's like, here you're fighting, you have this heart in your hand, and you have, what is this, like a baton in the other hand. It's like fighting for love, right? Like fighting for love, but losing in this battle of love, right? It's like, all's fair in love and war. That's what I'm hearing right now. And that's what it feels like here. It's like you don't want it to be like that, though. You want it to be something that's peaceful, that's enjoyable, that you can love. But it's like, it feels like every time you try to get into love before, there's this sense of it just being like choked out and dying and not being able to blossom. And so there's like this sense of being vulnerable and allowing yourself to be vulnerable in this journey of love, and knowing that fights and arguments will come, right? Especially with this conjunction card here. It's like fights and arguments will come, but that doesn't mean that it's not beautiful. It's not worth it. It's like you're such a rock for so many people. And it's not that you're not a rock for yourself, but I feel like you forget that you can be vulnerable as well. And that's going to help you connect very deeply with people who are meant to be in your life. It's like this song. It's like, it's talking about someone who's passed away, and I'm not trying to trigger anybody here. It's just, there's this song, and it talks about, she's like, I don't know what she'd say, but I think she'd say, I want you to live like the world's on fire. Want you to love like hearts don't break. Never look down when you walk the wire, like she made it to 40 to make your birthday cake, right? Like, I want you to live like the world's on fire. I want you to love like hearts don't break. Never look down when you cross the wire. Like, it's like, take a risk. You're willing to take a risk. We saw that with your reading. You're willing to live. We also saw that. But the hardest thing for you is to love like your heart doesn't break, because you've experienced so much heartbreak in your life. So with him being naked and exposed in this card, it really truly is like letting yourself become exposed when you're creating relationships. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to show who you are. The warrior, number 1. I ask for what I want because I deserve to get what I want. So you want love. You want connection. This feels like connection above love. Okay? And you'll fight for it. Because it's something you want. You want to hold it in your hand. You want to experience it. So let's get some descriptions. Now, these aren't going to resonate with everyone. So I don't know how many are going to come out for you. Pile 1 had a grip of them come out. I'm really not trying to do that today. But we will go with whatever comes out for you. So these are always fun to get. Let's get some descriptions for what is it that people admire about pile number 1. Okay. Oh, okay. That one definitely wants to come out. Nice for one more. Literally one more. Okay. Thank you, Source. Alright, this isn't too bad. I can do this. I can do this. Alright, let's see what came out. Halo hair. Okay, so some of you may be older and you have this halo hair. Also, it was interesting when I read this, I really felt like people see you as some kind of earth angel, okay? So, let's see. We've got pregnant. Okay, so some of you could be pregnant or having a baby, expecting a baby, and that would totally explain that motherly energy. But this is also going back as confirmation that you're very motherly energy to those in your life. Like cardinal sign. So we had fixed sign and cardinal sign coming out. Cardinal sign is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So you could be Cancer. We have Cancer coming out multiple times in this reading. You don't have to be, but this is definitely that explosive energy coming through here. Yeah, so I love that this came out because I was saying this could be some men on here with this. So we have beard, goatee, and mustache. I think I spelled mustache wrong, but that's okay. That's totally a human moment. So look, I can't with you. We just had Cancer, and I just said you could be a Cancer. Look, and we have Cancerian energy coming out by itself. Okay, that's a confirmation for some. Or you could have Cancer highly aspect in your chart. You could have Cancer in your 4th house. You could have Cancer in Neptune as well. Or you could have Cancer in Venus is the other energy that I'm hearing right now. You're an extrovert. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, like being able to nurture others and you be an extrovert doing so. Like you're willing to show up for others and take care of others. Okay. Or you could be a Taurus. Yeah, so we have that fixed energy. And Taurus is ruled by Venus. And I just said Venus in Cancer. I love that confirmation. I didn't even know what these are. And I love that confirmation coming through right off the bat. Yeah, or you could have Taurus highly aspect in your chart. Interesting. Some of these did come out for pile 1. We have light skin. So people admire your skin. They think it's really beautiful, really sexy, really handsome. So sexy and classy. You're a very classy person. So you dress very classy and you like to show up looking very nice, and people really associate you being classy with the Empress here, and that makes so much sense. Like we have the Chariot underneath that. So Cancer energy is very heavy here, okay? And we have Taurus and Libra with the Empress, but Cancerian energy is coming out like a beast, okay? So Cancerian energy could be very prevalent in your chart, or you could have a water trine as well. So that's just coming through. Look, and then we have number 32, which is 5. 5 is all about change, but we have moderation, rhinoceros here. And this is what I feel like exactly has happened for you. You have learned that by giving too much, you get burned. And by not giving enough, you also get burned. And so you've learned how to find this good balance between giving and receiving. And you've allowed yourself to come into a state of really spending time with yourself. Like that's where you really get set on fire. That's really where you get set into this passionate energy. And you're not afraid to really relish in that. And so that's what people admire, is that you give everything in moderation, even though you're so loving and so kind and so generous and so compassionate. We also have amethyst here, and this amethyst is a gemstone of Cancerian energy as well. Just throwing that out there. But you're so kind and compassionate. You never overgive. Like you've learned how to balance that out. And that is something that people truly, truly admire about you, pile 2. I loved your reading. This one was a lot of fun. Just a lot of beautiful energy. I hope you know just how wonderful you are as a person. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. But until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow humans that were drawn to this beautiful peach moonstone. Or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what do people admire about you. They've been really awesome so far. Just keep in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with my channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does give me an opportunity to connect with your energy to get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in my own journey and knowing how I got to where I am today and just my experiences and tips and tricks that I've learned along the way, what works, what doesn't work, check out the description box down below where I have linked my podcast, which comes out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can take with you on the go, and it is going to be going over situations that I've been through, like the one that I've just recently uploaded in regards to the time frame of this video is about forgiveness and journey blockages, and what forgiveness has to do with those blockages, whether we have forgiven or haven't forgiven, and the types of blocks that come from that, where I actually share a really harrowing experience that I went through and how I was led to forgive in a situation that I didn't think I was ever going to be able to forgive in, and what that did for me in the long run as well, and how that's brought me into this very beautiful connection with my higher self and with source energy. So you will find that link down below in the description box. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your reading and find out what is it about pile number 3, source, that people admire. What is it about pile 3 that people admire, source? What messages can you tell us? How can you help us understand what it is about pile number 3 that people admire, source? Okay, so we have first house, Aries and Mars. This is all Aryan energy. You could very well be an Aries, okay? Mars also was the first initial planet to rule Scorpio, so you could have Scorpio in your chart as well. However, this is very leadership, very much this burst of fire. Like, that's what I keep seeing, like a burst of fire energy, okay? But really, Aries is the first house, is ruled by Aries, and Mars rules Aries. And Mars is connected to the first house. Okay, so like you have all Aryan energy right here. In all the times that I've done dice readings, I have never had this happen. Not once. Not where all 3 dice are connecting to one zodiac sign or one energy at first. Okay, so we have self coming through with the first house, the way that we present ourselves, the way that we shine ourselves to the world. So people really admire the way that you present yourself, your self-image, your self-expression, your self-confidence. Okay, your ability to stand firm in who you are. You have come into a very centered place with yourself. You may have been a very aggressive person prior to your healing, or when you were younger. There could have been a very deep sense of anger that was a little bit out of control. Like you might have been angry at everybody, and your anger could have actually led you down a very healing journey. Like I do hear anger management coming in here. So some of you may have gotten involved in anger management. You had to go in and see what that would lead you to, and it actually led you down this beautiful healing journey here. Okay, and that's not going to resonate with everybody, but also what I'm seeing here is that you have just really taken this journey to self-love and to self-fulfillment and self-development and understanding of the self. I'm hearing psychology coming in here. Some of you may be studying psychology, and the pursuit of studying psychology, you have really learned how to open yourself up to healing those deep core wounds, right? We have Aries being the beginning of the zodiac, okay? This is the start of the zodiac wheel. So talking about healing core wounds. When I say core wounds, I'm talking about the first deacon here. This is coming down to the very beginning of life. Things that you experienced in the first 8 to 9 years of your life, okay? Things that like really set the tone for how you were going to come into this world as an adult later on. And you've really uncovered those and allowed yourself to become true to who you are on your journey. Okay, with this Aries energy here, you are seen as a leader, and people really admire your leadership qualities. You're direct, you're fearless, you're brave. you're like, when I was saying that explosive energy, like a burst of fire, it's like you're like, instead of a breath of fresh air, you're like a burst of fire in people's lives. Like you come in and all of a sudden they feel like, oh, well, if pile 3 did it, then I can do it too. And it's like this excitement around being able to connect with themselves in a very deep, compassionate way, while also taking the lead. This feels like you are the captain at the helm. Like you're the one that's driving the ship and you're telling everybody what to do, but everybody being your mind, your emotions, your soul, your being, your emotional ego, your extremities, yourself, you know, whatever it is. Like this is definitely being able to cultivate an attitude towards knowing how to motivate yourself, how to make sure that you're doing what you need to. You are also very independent. You do not need anybody in life. You're okay, like many of you may be single and you're in this energy of being perfectly content being single. Like you're not looking for anybody. People are very attracted to you, but you're not actually in this place of like, I'm actively looking for a relationship. I feel like if it did happen, you're cool with that. Like, all right, cool, it's happening, but it's not something that you're going out of your way looking for. You're not like, I need a relationship. You're just like in this energy of like, I am perfectly good with being alone, single. I'm single and I'm ready to mingle, but I don't do the mingle part because I just don't really care about that. It's like you don't care about the things that other people care about, right? You also bring a sense of fun, competitiveness to the things around you, right? And you're also standing very firm in this masculine energy. So whether you're a woman or a man or what you identify with, it doesn't matter. This is you standing very strong in the divine masculine energy, the ability to take action, the ability to change life. This is the ability to direct yourself in a way so that you can receive the manifestations that you're asking for. So maybe your whole life you were put in a position where you felt like a victim. Okay, and people had seen that, where you felt like a victim at one point, and you said, look, I'm not a victim. I'm not. And you stood up and you said, I'm not going to let others treat me like a victim anymore either, because I have control over myself. Okay, you're very courageous. You have a very big sex drive about you too. Like people are sexually attracted to you. People are very attracted to you. But the main thing that's coming through here is your ability to direct your life, the force that you take when it comes to your projects, and your ability to be the leader and command the way that you want to of yourself. Okay, self, especially with the first house here. This is how you command yourself. People admire that. Like you could work out regularly, and people admire that. They admire your ability to motivate yourself. And for you, it's not about motivation. It's about discipline. Right? I'm disciplined and I show up disciplined every day because it's important for me to stay disciplined. Hold on just a second, guys. Okay. Yeah. So yours is all about determination. Like people are just really, really admiring how determined you are on your journey. So let's check out the tarot, see what the tarot has to say. All right then. So source, what is it about pile number 1? Oh, that was a little beetle. There's a little beetle on me here. Maybe. Yeah, I see it. That's a little beetle. Oh, no, it's not in the... Hold on. Go over there, beetle. Go over there, beetle. Look, a little beetle. It's a little beetle. Let me get him out of the way here. Put him on the window. Maybe. Poor beetle. He's like, holy crap. Beetles are a sign of good luck. You know? Go over there, beetle. Okay, there we go. On the window. So I split the deck and we had the Fool come out, and the Fool is connected with Aries energy, right? And that's exactly what Aryan energy is. It's just that ability to just take a risk without worrying about what's next. Like you do things so differently than so many people. Like so many people wish they could do things the way that you do, so they just sit back and shit back. They just shish and admire that you are willing to take risks without fear of consequence. Even though you may fear the consequence, but you're just also in this energy of like, I know I have to take a risk. Like I know I have to try. Because there's like a feeling if I don't try, you're going to regret not doing what you wanted to. Source, what is it about pile number 1 that people admire? It came out quick. Thank you. What is our pile 1? Did I just say pile 1? You know why I said 1? Because I was looking at the first house. So pile 1 may have some messages for you, or you may have come from pile 1. So if you did, hi. But if you are not required to watch it at all. But what do people admire about pile number 3? Okay, these two want to come out. Thank you. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, your ability to slowly move towards what it is that you want. Your ability to take action towards your destiny. This is Taurian energy. You're also willing to live a life of luxury, and that's not like being over the top or anything, like spending a ton of money. It's like you really take your self-care seriously. You take yourself seriously. You do what you want, and you do what feels good for you, and you're not worried about the consequences of other people and how they feel or what they might say if you say no to them. And so there's this energy of being able to sit within yourself and love yourself and embrace that love for self, while being able to know that this comes from some situations that you've had to endure from the past. And you're singularly focused on one thing. Like you have one thing on your mind, and that's what you go towards. You're taking action towards. Now, there are times when it feels very fast and very intentional, and there are other times when it's very much in this energy of like, I just have to keep stepping. Right? If you see the horse, this horse is actually kind of chunky. All the other horses are very much in this position of running, or at least trotting towards their goal or whatever. But this horse is just someone who's very stable and very much like going one way. It'd be kind of hard to deter him from the path he was already on. And that's the type of energy that you put out. And that's what people admire about you. It's like you're single-minded. Yeah, you're victorious. We have fire energy coming out again. Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. So yeah, you're fiery. I cannot make that up. Like, that's the thing. You are victorious in your life, okay? And more than victorious, this is like success in all your endeavors. This is like being able to build slowly. But know that you have a passion in that for purpose. Like you like to do that, or you want to do that for a purpose. And so the 6 of Wands, like you're building firm alliances so that you can actually go towards what it is that you want. And if you feel like you don't have alliances in your life right now, what this is saying is that you're healing yourself in such a way that the people that you will be inviting in are going to be people who will help you along the journey. Like they're going to see you and they're going to be like, okay, pile 3, like you are, you need this connection, or you need this connection. I can get you connected with these people over here, this company over here. Right? And it's because you've let go of things that made you feel like you had to start again. Right? They made you feel like, oh my gosh, like I had to give up everything that I had in order to begin again. And now what has happened is that you're not afraid to begin again. You've learned through trial and error that the only thing that's consistent in life is change. And we have that with fire. With fire is a very changing element. It is either raging or it can be as soft as an ember, right? And it's like this energy of remembering your own power, your own innate strength, and being connected to your willpower. The fire signs are connected to the Manipura chakra, solar plexus, because the solar plexus is our fire. But what happens sometimes with the fire element is that it's hard for us to ignite that fire element. And you found a way to ignite it within yourself, and you continue to keep it burning. You continue to feed it so that it continues to burn. And it's that fuel that you're feeding the fires, the passions, the drive, the action that you're taking. It's driving you forward. And I love this because even the Knight of Coins is still holding a wand, right? He's not a wand card. He's a coin card, but he's still holding a wand. And it's like your wands, your actions are driving you towards your abundance, whether that's emotional abundance, whether that's physical abundance, whether that's monetary abundance, whether that is spiritual abundance, whatever it is, it's like a singular focus on self is what's driving you towards your goals. And this beautiful energy of overcoming anything in your path. And people really admire that about you. You know, we also have this energy. It's so crazy because when you look at these cards, they add up to the Sun card, right? So you have 10 and then you have 9, and the Sun card is the 19 card. And so isn't that strange? The synchronicity here. That's a huge synchronicity coming through here. I don't normally do that, but I was showing that right now. It's like we have the Sun card coming through here. Again, that fire element, that self element, dealing in being the authority of self coming through, right? And the Sun is all about our way of expression and how we express ourselves to others. So this literally has to do with people admire how you express yourself. You're so different from everybody else. And this is so synchronistic because we got all fire energy with the Aries energy in the dice, and then we got all fire cards in this spread. Like, this is insane. The synchronicities of your pile is very intense. Very, very intense. Let's get some clarifiers out for it. So with the Sun coming through, it's like you're a light in the dark, right? What I was saying, like, you found a way to fuel your fire, and what you're not actually seeing, look, I just split the deck and the Sun came out. Look, that's the Sun card. I cannot make this up. I feel like this wants to be out. I'm just going to pull it out here because I feel like it's just making itself known as, like, for Source to show me that these cards add up to 19, which is the Sun card, right? You have X is 10. And then it's always 1, it's whatever number is here minus 10, or if it's on the other side, right? So we have 1 minus 10 is 9. That's a 19 card. If you don't know how to read Roman numerals, there's just a little quick lesson for you here. But I'm actually going to put this here. I'm still going to draw you 3 cards, but the Sun wants to come out here. You're like this shining light among people. Right? Like, you help people see their truth. You help people find a way in the darkness. And what I was going to say is that you've learned to fuel the fires of your life. And because you've learned to fuel those fires, you are actually like a matchmaker, like a fire maker, right? You help spark the passion within others. So let's get some clarifiers out here for pile number 3, Source. I love the synchronicities in today's reading. Just so intense. So look, we have the Page of Swords flipping over. Yeah, so this is like giving me new communication. There's actually might be somebody recently that you started communicating with, or someone that you will be communicating with very shortly here that is going to help guide you towards the next stint of your journey. But it's somebody that actually really admires what you do and how you show up in life. And that's why they're going to come through. But with it coming out over the Alliance card here, this feels like somebody that's about to come in. With it being a Page energy, Page is very new, right? That's very like unsure. We're not sure if this is going to work out. Not sure how this is going to go. I'm sorry, this is moving all around here. Just a second, guys. So this feels very new, though. Also, there's a sense of purity and innocence coming in. This is someone who will be very sincere, okay? I also feel like this is what people admire about you, is that you are a very sincere person. So this feels like someone who's going to mirror your energy. A very sincere energy, a very genuine energy. Someone who's not looking to gain something, but someone who truly wants to lift you up. I also feel like that's you. Like, you're someone who wants to lift other people up. I was saying you've learned to really spark your own fires, and it's just through that act that you actually bring in a lot of reciprocity to others without realizing it. Like, you're the person that they wish they could always have in their life. And whether you're there for a short time or a long time, like, you bring a lot of sweetness and a lot of light and illumination into their life. And that's such a beautiful energy here. I love that the Sun came out. It's interesting. They asked me to look at the bottom of the deck, and we have the 6 of Wands coming out again on the bottom of the deck. And this image shows me that you've had to learn how to find a leadership position all on your own. Like, no one handed this to you. Of course, no one's going to hand you any kind of position like this, but you've had to learn how to do it on your own. And at times, I feel like you dealt with imposter syndrome. Like, you felt like, am I actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, I feel like I'm an imposter. I feel like, oh my gosh, like, even though I keep getting drawn to doing this, I feel like maybe I'm just being crazy, or it's not really real, or, like, even though it's something I'm really passionate about. And you finally dealt with that and realized that the reason you felt that way is because no one ever actually gave you that self-belief in yourself before. And so you had to learn how to do that. Yeah, there's always somebody whispering in your ear, or someone making you feel like you weren't worthy of what it was you were asking for. The example that I have for that is, like, I can share my own experience here, and what they're pushing me to do is that, when I first started reading tarot, it was such a unique experience for me. Like, the synchronicities like this would come out for me all the time. Nothing quite like this, though. This is impressive, okay? Like, this one is impressive. But one time I did a reading and I had all 4 aces. It was like the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Coins, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Swords, like, all in a row. And just the synchronicities that have come out on each reading. And at first, I really thought, like, I was just a fake. Like, I really felt like I wasn't real. And it took me time to realize that what it is that, doing this tarot and reading for many people and reading for myself, it took me time to realize that what I experienced with the tarot is a very real thing, and that if I don't believe in myself, no one's going to come in and be like, hey, Becky, you're really good at that. Like, you're really amazing. Train horn for confirmation there. And that's what I feel like you had to learn through your journey, is whatever it is that you do. It could be like Reiki healing. It could be energy healing. This could be something that's very spiritual, helping others to find their way through their intuitive knowings, helping others connect with their psychic gifts. Whatever it is, it does feel very spiritual, but it does feel like something that, and if it's not, it could be like, maybe you're a DJ. Maybe you are in the music industry, or maybe you're in industries that like, everybody is like, oh, that's just a dream and a prayer to think that you're ever going to succeed in that. And I feel like you've had people tell you that before, like, that's not a real job. You need to get a real job, but you're actually starting to succeed. And it took you to have those moments of failure and those moments of question where you felt like you were an imposter in a situation you didn't feel like you fit in, to realize that that's your castle in the distance. You're building it, right? And that's what it feels like here. But it's okay. Like, it's just a part of the process, especially for the chosen, for those that are chosen for these journeys to help raise the vibration of the planet. It's like, I feel like every chosen person goes through this imposter syndrome. Like, oh my gosh, like, I'm a fake, I'm a fraud. Like, why would anybody ever listen to me? Why would anybody ever believe in me? Like, all these things. And the reason being is because it's us being on our calling, and it's that negative energy that's trying to keep us from answering our calling. And so whatever you're doing, with this all equating to the sun and the fire energy and the Mars and the aggression and the leadership, this is saying you finally learned that I have to aggressively go after my dreams. And there's a reason that I'm dreaming this. There's a reason that I want to do this. And they always say whatever you're drawn back to, that you can't put down. Like, that was the thing about tarot. Like, there were times I wanted to quit, but it was like I would quit for like a week, and I would still, like, just the curiosity would drive me back to it. And I couldn't stop. Like, I could not leave it alone. And it's like, those are the things that you're meant to be doing. And there's a reason there's that passion within you to go back to it, because it's like, that's what you're meant to be doing. And I feel like whatever it is that you're doing, people admire you because they see there are plenty of reasons of why you should have given up, of why you could have given up, and yet you didn't. And so that's what it feels like here. People are truly admiring you because they're like, wow, pile 3 really knows this is what they want to do. Look, I would laugh if these are all swords cards. I'm just going to say that's very masculine energy. And I was saying this is the divine masculine. Okay, and it doesn't matter. You could be a woman, you could be a man. Whatever you identify with, this is just you owning your divine masculine energy and finding balance with that. But we have the Knight of Swords here coming through here. It's like you becoming your own hero, defending yourself, right? It feels like, what is that paper dragons? it's not a song. It's like that belief, oh, everything's just paper dragons. Like, there's nothing to fear when it's a paper dragon, right? Even if it seems like a real dragon, like there's nothing to fear a paper dragon. And that's what it feels like. It's like all your fears were just a paper dragon or a paper tiger, right? Like, that's what it was. I don't know why I kept saying dragon, but it's like, that's, I think, what I'm getting from this. It's not anything but a dragon. You're riding a paper dragon. You realize, I control my fears. And you fended off all those people who wanted to bring negativity into your life, who wanted to bring hurtfulness into your life. And you're like, no, this is my dream. And you picked it up and you took it and you went after it. And that's what people admire you, because you did something that so many people give up so quickly, right? And the progress that you made, like, look, we have the page and the knight here together. Like, this is progress. This is moving forward. Nice. And we have the 6 of Cups. How much you love what you're doing. People admire how much you love what you do. Like, they just hear it in your voice. They can sense it in your actions. They can see it in what you do every day. And the abundance that you're receiving from it. This might not be monetary abundance that you're receiving just yet. But it's like, what is that song? There's a line in Astronaut in the Ocean. It says, even if I don't get paid for progression, I'ma work it. Like, that's this energy. It's like, even if you're not getting paid for progression, you're still getting it. You're still doing what you want to do, because it's like, you know, this is where your abundance lies. And again, abundance is different for everybody. It's like that singular view is coming through here, and that's what people admire. There's one focus on your mind, and it's just to be successful in your endeavors. And it's like, for you, you probably already feel very successful, and people notice that as well. But it's your sense of love, right? It's your sense of love for what you do that brings this excitement to others. And that's why others are so drawn to you. Yeah. So we have the Empress here. Okay. And this came out in another pile. So you may be here from one of the other piles, which is perfectly okay. And welcome. Thank you so much. You do not have to go and watch any of the other piles if you don't feel drawn to them. Just know. But if you do, you're more than welcome to check them out as well. We have the Empress coming out here, showing a perfect balance between the divine masculine, which is the Aryan energy, which is representative of the Emperor. This is all Emperor energy right here. First house, Aries, and Mars. This is all Emperor energy. And we're ending at the tarot cards with the Empress. This talks about a perfect union between the divine masculine and the divine feminine within self. The ability to take action and the ability to know when to receive. Underneath it. Yeah, the 5 of Wands. Look, you've basically taken on every adversary that's come in. Like, look, at one point the dragon looked real, but now look at you riding the dragon without hesitation. You're not worried about it. You've gained some sense of balance from this. You've gained some sense of stability from doing this for yourself. Now this is peeking out here. We have the Ace of Swords. There you go. What do you want? The truth. The truth. It was peeking out. So you have the truth in this. Source saying that's exactly what's coming through. This is exactly why people are admiring you, is because you've come into this beautiful place of balance with self, with your journey, with your ability to manifest, with your ability to receive. Maybe you haven't gotten everything that you want so far, but that has never stopped you from moving forward towards it. Like, and you're emerging as this beautiful individual. Strong and powerful, compassionate, and a warrior. You are a warrior above all else. We had fog that flipped over. The sun is coming out. Again, the sun. The synchronicities on your reading are so profound. We have the sun coming through here. It's like, I keep hearing the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be light. I think that's how it goes. Anyways. It's like you were living in the throes of what everyone else had and what everyone else believed that you should be for so long. And finally, when you embraced yourself, all this discontent and all this unclarity has finally left you, and you've veiled and it's like opened up. You've opened up to who you are, right? The sun has come out. You are the sun. You are the light. And you continue to embrace yourself. And people feel that authenticity within you. That's what makes you a true leader, is because you're leading by example. You're leading by saying, I did this. I know you can overcome it too. Look, struggles. We have Saturn on the bottom here. Feeling restricted, experiencing struggle, learning hard work and patience. And that's exactly the type of energy that's coming through here. It's like through your hardships, you've learned how to be patient. Through what once was, you've learned to become who you're meant to be. Right? It's taken a lot of time. This is not something that happened overnight, but you still continue on. Look, we have the traumatized with number 44 coming out. It flipped over here. It says, I acknowledge that I have been traumatized, but I am also healing. We were just talking about Saturn being the planet of tough love, struggles, experiencing hardships. So you've been traumatized. I mean, look at this guy getting hit in the head with this lightning bolt. But your angels have always been with you. It's through these hardships that you transformed. You've blossomed. You've turned into this being of being able to speak the truth and seeing the bright side through the darkness. And that's what people admire about you, because they're like, whoa, like pile 3, they just get it. Like they know that sometimes things are hard, but to keep going, right? To keep going and to not give up. So I was saying, like, people have seen you in positions where it's like you had every reason to just stop and give up and go back to doing whatever it was that you were doing before, but like it just felt like every time you were in that position where it's like, oh, I'm just ready to throw in the towel, it's like something else would show up and you're like, this is why I'm interested in this. Look, we have Pitbull, misunderstood, coming out. Yeah, you've been a misunderstood person. You are someone who's misunderstood by many, many, many people. By many people. By many situations. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is that energy coming through. It's like you've been in some really tough, difficult situations, but you, regardless of the misunderstanding, regardless of how people viewed you, regardless of the gossip, regardless of the lies and the stories that people tried to spill about you, regardless of people trying to hurt you, to make you go back into that traumatized energy, to go back into this energy of them controlling you, whatever it's been, you have still stood up and become this beacon of hope for so many. What a powerful energy. Look, oh, I love this for you. It says, thank you for choosing to overcome your struggles. Love source. Look, again, experiencing struggles. Like, this is source coming in and acknowledging that it's not been easy, but also saying that it has all been for purpose so that you could become the sun, right? Like, you are the sun. You are the light for so many people, and that's what they admire about you. And you may not even realize it. A lot of these people may stay quiet about how much you actually help them, but they still show up. These are people who show up and support you from I gotta say it, from the nosebleed seats. I gotta say it. It came through, so I gotta say it. And I know what that means for me, so that may mean something for you, but these are people who support you and they feel unseen by you, or they want to remain unseen to you because they just are cheering you on. They're cheering you on and hoping that, it's weird, I said hope and this flipped over. Hope is never mere, not even when it is meager. Number 45. 9, bringing something to an end. And hoping that you're going to succeed, because your success means everything. 3333 coming out on the clock. Your success means everything to them. And that may seem odd. That may not seem, that may mean be like, well, what is my success to them? It's just, when you're successful, it shows them that they too can overcome everything. So this is somebody who's like your biggest cheerleader. This is a group of people who are like your biggest cheerleader, but they're not making themselves that much known, because it's like they want to see what you do without the praise. Like I was saying, there's somebody that's going to come in that's going to be sincere, but it's one person who's going to come forward, and it's going to be amazing for you. And look, we have number 18, which is 9 again. 9 coming out together here. We have both sides of the coin contain sorrow. And this is what I feel like you've learned. Like, even though you've had hard struggles and hardships in your own life, you've learned that it's not one-sided. Like, even if somebody hurts you, like, you learn through hardships that it's like both sides got hurt. Like, you're somebody who's very emotionally advanced and someone who is very consciously advanced, knowing that it's like through the difficulties, like, I couldn't play the victim because the other person also had a right to play the victim. So that makes us both victims and both perpetrators. Like, you understand that. And people admire you for that because so many people are one-sided. It's like, oh, I'm the victim and they're the perpetrator and they're the wrong ones. They're the ones that did this. And it's like, you actually looked at yourself and found out what were my own toxic traits that I brought to the situation. Look, we have house 4. I love this. We have cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. And I love this confirmation for you because I said at the beginning, this is like first deacon energy coming out. This is those core wounds from those first few years, from the time you were born until you were 9 years old, right? And we have that family roots. These are things that set you up for success or for failure. And these are things that you've healed, that you've looked at, that you've understood has made you what you are today. And that you've also learned that healing those things has given you so much freedom. And we have house 12, spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. Can I get more clear? You have healed so much. I love that 12th house was there. I didn't even know that was there. I love that that was there. Healing is the main thing here. You have healed, and people are like, whoa, pile 3, you've healed so much. Like, and some people get upset because it shines a light on what they're not doing themselves, right? But at the same time, it's like, because you've healed so much and you've overcome so much, it's like, you're just this big, huge hope for so many. Hope is never mere, not even when it is meager. You may be just a spark, but that spark has the ability to set the world on fire. And that's what's coming through here. Let's get some descriptive energies for you. Now, these aren't going to resonate with everybody, but they are always fun. And I love when you guys comment down below and tell me what it was that resonated with you in the piles. And so definitely let me know what it is that resonates with you. And again, know that they are general, so this isn't going to resonate with everybody, but they're always fun to get out. This is going to be more about your physical, what people admire about you physically, very outside, outwardly appearance source. Can we get some descriptive messages for pile 3? Okay, we got one. Okay, thank you. Can we get some descriptive messages for pile 3? Can we get some descriptive messages for pile 3 source? I'll do one more. Literally, one more came out. Thank you. Okay, this is a grip right here. All tore up is what I was going to say. Okay, whatever. I don't know what that meant. All grouped together here. All right, so what do we got? Light skin. This literally came out in every pile. I mean, this is nothing against anything. It's just saying light skin, like you, it's your skin tone, the way your skin looks. They really admire your skin. Like, you're giving hope. This feels like you're giving hope to a minority group of people. And that's what it feels like. Okay, like, skin aside, this just really feels like you're giving hope to a minority group of people, people who are also misunderstood. Okay. Water sign. Again, we had Cancer and Pisces come out here. But you could be a water sign. You could be Aries, but water could be very highly aspect in your chart. That is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio coming through here for you. Very empathic, very intuitive, psychic. You have psychic gifts. You're connected with your spiritual energy, connected with your heart. Ajna chakra is ruled by Cancer, and you have the Earth Star chakra. Is it Earth Star? Or the Earth? It's the Earth Crown or the Earth Star chakra, which rules Pisces, and Scorpio is the root chakra. So you may have a lot to do with technology. You're very technologically wise, or you're advanced at technology, and people really admire that. You could be an inventor. Let's see, what do we got? Earth sign. So we have Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus coming through here. We did have Taurus energy on the bottom over here. So you could be an earth sign. You could have earth highly aspect in your chart, or you could be someone that has a water trine or an earth trine in your chart. If you don't know what that is, you're more than welcome to look up your natal chart online. So some of you have an afro. People really admire your afro. Like, you're really brave to wear your hair in a way that they wouldn't be able to, or they wouldn't feel comfortable wearing it that way. You're very blunt. Yeah, and that makes so much sense with all this Aryan energy here. Like, you're very direct, right? Very blunt. They admire that. You're very serious at times. Like, you know when it's necessary to be serious, and you don't shy away from that either. Like, you're not trying to bring a light tone into it when it's necessary to be serious. Like, you're like, no, this is a very serious situation. This is something we very much need to discuss. So we're going to discuss this, and then we can figure out what happens next. But the first things first, we got to discuss this. Now, you could have been seen as flaky prior to your healing, and people notice that you're no longer flaky. Or you may take your self-care very seriously here, where you draw away from people and they've pegged you as flaky, but they still admire that about you because it's like, oh, well, they're flaky. It's almost like the haters, right? Haters gonna hate, right? So it's like they're hating on you and calling you flaky. Oh, well, pile 3, they always cancel plans. But really, you always tell them, I'm sorry, I have to take care of myself. I have to refuel. I have to draw back into myself and take care of myself. And so they admire that, but they may peg you to others as flaky because they're just hating. Long hair. Yeah, so you may very well resonate with one of the other piles. Something about your hair is coming through here. You may have a very long afro. Yeah, I know I brought this up on another one. I wish I could remember his name on YouTube, but it's the guy who always walks around with the hoodie on, and he has his afro under his hoodie. And he does something like crazy. Like, he'll pretend to steal somebody's phone, and when he takes off running, like, they chase after him, and he hands it right back. But then he, like, uncovers his afro, but his afro is so big and luscious and beautiful. And everybody's like, oh, snap, look at your afro. Like, and he takes so much pride in his hair, but it's, like, really long. Like, it's a big afro. It's so cool. I love it. I love that guy. He makes me laugh. Those videos make me laugh so much. So you could have an overbite. So people admire your smile. That was something else that came through here. Okay, so let's check out and see what your divine animal card is. And yeah, Centaurian energy coming through again. Taurus, you could have Taurus highly aspect in your chart as well. But we have number 40 coming out with Bull and Sacrifice. What do people admire about you, pile 3? You have sacrificed a lot of things, which is so good that this came out because Saturn is also the planet of sacrifice, right? We sacrifice things so that we can become better. And it's like sacrificing going out to having drinks, sacrificing going out on Friday nights, sacrificing watching Netflix all the time, sacrificing being lazy, sacrificing all those things that we once did that we knew weren't making us successful, right? Like, I feel like maybe you used to make promises that you didn't keep, and now you sacrifice and you say, if I made a promise, I'm going to keep it. Or maybe you were flaky in a past life and you're like, oh no, if I said something, I'm going to stick with it. But it's like that hard lesson here of learning how to become disciplined on your journey. And that's what people really admire about you. You're very disciplined on this journey. You're very capable of doing what is necessary for you to become stable and to have a very firm foundation. We're also, I believe I was talking about Venus energy here with the Taurian energy. We have that coming out again because this is the Taurus card in this deck. Okay, and so this talks about being able to live in luxury of yourself, like taking care of yourself, that self-love, that self-care, treating yourself out. Like, maybe you go get massages, maybe you go get your nails done, maybe you get your hair done, right? We had the hair thing come through. So you do take care of yourself, your outwardly appearance, you take care of your body. You could sacrifice to be disciplined in your working out. We talked about that as well. But what people admire about you the most is that you're willing to sacrifice so that you can take action towards your dreams. And it's something that people wish they were motivated enough to do that. And again, I feel like that energy for you, it's not about being motivated. It's about knowing that discipline is going to carry me to my success. Okay. So this is what I have for you, pile 3. I loved this reading. This was a lot of fun today. So if it resonated, hit that thumbs up button down below. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. But until next time, stay human. Bye.